Hello, hello, welcome back to the Salty Vapor. What we have for you today is a review. It is a review of this little baby. It is the Hex Ohm V2 dual 18650 regulated box mod, and we'll do some specs, get you down and dirty, and come back up top and do some pros and cons. So this device is available at cravingvapor.com. I will put the link in the video. How much is it going to cost you? It ranges from $189 to $210. However, it is currently on sale until March 30th, 2015, for $170.99. It's 10% off through March 30th with free shipping, and that's for the standard version. The brushed stainless version that it comes in runs around $210. You would also get then 10% off of that, and again with free shipping. I purchased mine, however, which is a hammered bronze finish with the green button. I purchased mine at a local brick and mortar, and sort of local. It's in Cincinnati, Ohio, for $200 even. So I paid a little bit more, but it's kind of nice to support the local brick and mortars at times. So as I said, this is a dual 18650 regulated mod. It has the OKL T20 chip on board. In that particular chip ranges from 3.3 to 6 volts, which means it has 20 amps of vaping power, and 110 watts of vaping power for you. And you may have seen some other reviews and familiar with these type of box mods, but the way that you adjust your voltage essentially is this potentiometer here on the side. You just kind of put your fingernail in and adjust it to taste. But it does range from 3.3 to 6 volts, and so you can kind of get an idea of where you're at, and spatially judge where the dial's at. But I just adjust it to taste, like I think everyone else does. I've got a Troll RDA right now at 0.3 ohms, doing a very nice job. Hits very hard. It has reverse polarity protection, which I haven't tested out. Very, very fearful with these more simple mods but Craving Vapor definitely advertises on their site that it has reverse polarity protection. So if you happen to switch your batteries around, I think you're safe there. And it has a lifetime guarantee, so if for some reason that's not the case, you'll be fine. Craving Vapor has excellent customer service. They'll hook you up. So also, while we're up top here, and we'll talk about this more in the up close down and dirty segment, but it has a very nice Veritube 510 connection there, spring loaded. It's housed in a Hammond box. Mine is a kind of a hammered bronze finish. The standard ones are kind of a smoother black finished Hammond box. Again, mine has the nice green button. So let's go with that. Let's go up close and take a look at the Hex Ohm down and dirty, and see what you see what you think. Here we are down and dirty with the Hex Ohm V2. You'll see that I have my Troll RDA setting on top there. That will actually be my next review coming up. But that's not what this video is about. We are talking about the Hex Ohm here. So you can see the nice graphics, the Hex Ohm logo on the front of the box. Moving around to this side, you'll see you have that potentiometer there. Has a groove cut in it. You could fit a coin or something like that, but I just use my fingernail. I think most folks just use their fingernail to adjust your voltage and up and down to taste. Moving to the other side here, you'll see you have some more Hex Ohm branding down here at the bottom and your serial number. Mine is number 4995. I believe I heard them say on the Plumes of Hazard they're up to about 10,000 of these boxes Hex Ohm sold so far. But this is number 4995. Has the nice clicky green button. Now let's take a look at the inside, probably the most important part on mods of this type. Battery door is on with magnets there. The magnets aren't super strong. They're kind of a nice balance. Not too hard to get off. But I've never had it fall off, or I've never knocked it off while using it. But here is the internals of the Hex Ohm version 2. You can see nice clean build, nice battery tray. No issues with the build at all. The chip up here is I assume this was intentional and not for something else, but the chip is wrapped in kind of a plastic, which I assume would protect it if something small were. I don't think you could immerse this in a pan of water or anything, but I think that if you happen to get a little bit of e-liquid down in here, that plastic wrap or cellophane that's over the chip, I think would protect it a little bit. You see the wiring is nice and clean, nice and hefty, heavy-duty wiring. I've got some Samsung 25Rs in there, a great battery. You can see on this side the wire coming down to the potentiometer. Again, nice clean build. One of the cons that I'll talk about, and we can kind of look at up close here, is that the battery terminals are very tight and kind of sharp. And so when you take your batteries out, the way that I would recommend taking them out is kind of pull one side out like that and pull the other side and kind of just work them out until they come out easily. If you just go and grab one end and try to pull it out, you run the risk of damaging your battery, of pulling some of your wrap off and having to re-wrap it. So that's a tiny little con, and we'll talk more about pros and cons after we go back up top. But yeah, just while we're up close, I thought I'd give you that little tip, that you don't want to just go grabbing your batteries and ripping them out, because you can damage your wrapping. So with that, oh, there's the button. A nice clicky button. I think they put a lot of thought into where this button went, both aesthetically, and some people hate it. Some people hate aesthetics of the button. I rather like it. You can kind of decide for yourself there whether you like the aesthetics of that of the button. You know, it sticks out a fair amount from the box compared to other mods. And again, I think just ergonomically, in terms of the tactile character of it, it's a very nice button. Probably the best button on any mod that I've used. So let's go back up top. Let's talk about some pros and cons of the Hex Ohm V2, and I'll give you my final thoughts on it, and we will vape it. Let us talk about some pros and cons of this particular device. Pros. I just love the aesthetics of this device. The Hex Ohm logo, possibly my favorite logo in the vaping world. They really hit on a nice looking logo and sort of branding, you know, throughout the product there. So yeah, the aesthetics, that's totally subjective, but the aesthetics, in my opinion, are top notch. I like on this particular version that I have. On this particular version that I have, I really like the hammered bronze finish. Like the green button. I think the two go together nicely. Again, all subjective. Aesthetics are certainly in the eye of the beholder. As I talked about before, I really like this button. I think it works great, like if you're a trigger fire or a thumb fire. I'm usually I use my thumb to fire devices. With this one, I found that both work equally well, so I kind of find myself, you know, 50% of the time grabbing it and firing it with my index finger. The placement of that button, the clickiness of that button, it's just a great ergonomic fit. Thank you for the voicemail. The box, it feels nice in your hand. Again, the design of the box also very ergonomically thoughtful, very nice. It's substantial. It's a substantial build, but it's also small enough to be hand friendly, sort of pocket friendly, but we'll talk a little bit more about why that's not such a good idea in a second. It's a nice, as we saw on the up close, it's a nice clean build. No messiness in there. Craving Vapor is very, I think, meticulous with their builds and with the aesthetics of the build. Has a great 510 connection. These Veritube 510 connections are just they're buttery smooth. They feel very durable. I don't think you'll ever have any issues with them stripping out or wearing down. They seem like a nice, substantial, smooth 510 connection. I also I think it's compared to, you know, some of the other regulated mods that with a DNA chip or an SX chip, you know, the ability to just sort of adjust your voltage and, you know, then wattage, but adjust your voltage with the potentiometer, just with a fingernail and do it really quickly. I like that feature. It's rather than having to sort of scroll through lots of numbers. I think you get caught up with, you know, let's say a Sigelli 150 watt or a Sigelli 100 watt plus. You get caught up with numbers, I think, a lot in the mods with digital screens. And and you get it exact. But with this, you just adjust it to taste. It is very simple. You know, I would say kind of a Zen simple design, and it hits hard. It performs nicely. No delay, no issues there. It's just it's been a performer, essentially. There are a few cons, however, and we'll go over those. I think the biggest con, in my opinion, is that this box mod, by design, lacks a voltmeter, so you don't really ever know where your battery charge is. You can guess, and the way that I've done it, you know, over the course of the last month that I've been using the device, I've really gotten in the where I can really judge pretty accurately when my battery charge starts to get low enough that it needs to be thrown on the charger, that the batteries need to be thrown on the charger. But it is again probably my primary con with this is just for safety concerns and so on, that it lacks, you know, one of the little screens, the little LCD screens, nothing in there to show you what your battery charge is. And I think, like, you know, Craving Vapor, if they're like looking at future versions, which I know that they are, it would be nice to be able to see where your battery charge is in some way, shape, or form. But again, it's a compact box. I don't think they could, with this current design, fit a screen in there, or if they did, it would be very tight, and I think it would involve cutting holes in the side of the box, and I think that's a road they just didn't want to go down. But again, safety wise, it is a concern, so have to mention it. It does have and this is a very subjective con, but it does have that Hammond box lean. It'd be impossible to tell on camera here, but when it's setting, you know, flush on a table or something, you can see an ever so slight lean. I would say no more than like 10 degrees or so, you know, maybe 10-15 degree like lean that the Hammond box is famous for. Not Craving Vapor's fault at all, just the way the box is made. And something that really doesn't bother me at all. I rarely think about it. Usually I'm, you know, traveling. You know, I don't sit and look at the mod and think, oh, that's has a, you know, the Addy has a 10-degree lean to it. You know, but you know, it's something that might bother some folks that are on the OCD side of things. Another con, and this is individual to just my box, but I actually saw, I think Abby Vapors had the same problem, or Abby Vapes had the same. I watch her videos all the time. I don't know how I got the name wrong, but Abby, her box had the same issue, which if you can sort of see here, there's a little nick in the paint around where, and I think what happened was, and you can kind of see it on the back there also, some of the paint is nicked off, and I think that happened when they were installing the magnet. And from the looks of Abby's situation, it looked like a similar thing, that when they installed the magnet, they kind of chipped some paint off. Again, not something that I think about on a regular basis. If I called Craving Vapor and could I have it replaced, probably so, but it hasn't been something that's been even important enough for me to devote that amount of time to. But just a little QC thing there. Some paint was nicked off when I got it, And again, it looks like it happened when I don't think it happened after production. I think it happened when they installed the magnet. Another con is the battery door. It's not super easy to get off, but it's not the magnets. It's just the design of the box. Again, this is not something that Craving Vapor could have done anything about, but just the Hammond boxes, they're a little fiddly to get the doors off. I don't find that the magnets are too strong at all, though. If anything, when I first got the device, I thought that the magnets might be a little bit weak, and so I was concerned that maybe in the daily use, that it might, I might knock the door off, but not the case at all. I've used it for a good while here. Battery doors never came off. The magnets seem really, just strong enough, to keep it nice and solid. And the last con we sort of talked about before. The batteries can be a little bit difficult to get out, but once you get that technique down with, pulling on one side of the battery out a little bit, then the other side, and then taking it out. Once you get that down, not really a big deal. But if you could scuff the batteries, you could damage your batteries if you're not careful. And it's, again, just the nature of the way those terminals are designed. If I had a say in the matter, it would, would I choose different terminals maybe in the next design? Yeah, I probably would if I were Craving Vapor, just to eliminate that little concern. So even with those cons, which again I think 4 of them are really pretty subjective and things that generally don't bother me a whole lot and probably won't bother most people. The voltmeter being the one exception. It would be nice and safety conscious for there to be a voltmeter on there. Otherwise, even with these cons, this is a great device. It's become my daily carry around with me everywhere device. Let's have a vape. And I just like it. Like, I like the feel of it. I like the aesthetics of it. I like that I can sort of, like, everywhere you grab it, it's comfortable. The button is nice and clicky and tactile. It's just a really pleasant, as I said, zen simple device to use. There's not a lot of fiddling at all. You stick your batteries in and you vape. Why can't more devices be like that? And some people may prefer a digital screen so they can dial in their exact wattage, their exact voltage. But I like the potentiometer. I like being able to just, turn it, in half a second to adjust for, if I change atomizers, if go from a dripper to a tank or something. I like the speed. I like the adjusting to taste. This has become my go-to mod, and my favorite mod that I've used to date. So highly recommend it. The price could certainly be a concern. 100 and even with the sale, $170 is nothing to sneeze at. But if you have the money in your vape budget to kind of to pick up a higher end mod like this one, I highly recommend it. Now that's not to say anyone should feel like they have to rush out and buy. If the mod you have is working well for you, by all means stick with it. But I love this mod. I can't really give a higher recommendation. And I guess the thing is that, you know, when I first got the mod, when I first started using it, I didn't know how well I would like it. You know, it wasn't something that I was just like instantly in love with. You know, I thought about the battery door. I didn't know, I hadn't used one with a potentiometer. You know, so I was kind of just, I like the aesthetics and had heard good things about it, and so I picked one up, and it's through daily use and through my user experience with the device, it's made a believer out of me. I think it's a great device, and definitely recommend it. So thank you for tuning in again to the Salty Vapor here. Coming up, we'll take a look at the Troll RDA, and on down the line a little bit, I'm going to take a look at a clone of the Marquee dripping atomizer. So those are some things upcoming. I'll have a vlog on Tuesday in all likelihood, where we'll talk about some of the craziness happening with laws and government things, especially here in Indiana, where the lawmakers have totally lost their minds. But all that is upcoming. Thank you for tuning in for the Hex Ohm V2. Hope you all have a nice weekend and a great week next week. Thank you.